You know that old saying, it takes a village to raise a child? Well, it takes a tribe to create an artist. Hear me out. Recently, I've made 14 short films in the last 3 months, and I've primarily done it almost myself. Did it with me and my wife, and here and there on a few of them, I've had a few friends help me out. But I wanted to share my experience with just this most recent one and some of the lessons I've learned and why, as an artist, you have to build a tribe and build that group that's really gonna help you, but also that you're gonna help succeed and come up with. So let's break it down. I grew up acting and I left it because I loved performing, but I hated the work it took to be an actor. All of the other things you did outside, up to performing, I didn't actually enjoy putting the time and effort in to do that. When I got behind camera, I really fell in love with it because I discovered I can create a similar thing. I can be in the movies, but without needing to learn lines and spend the time doing that because I didn't enjoy it. It was not until recently when my wife wanted to do this comedy, but it was kind of like a sex comedy thing. And she was like, I am not gonna make out with anybody else besides you. So you're acting this whether you like it or not. And so I was acting it while directing it, and it was actually really fun. It's a very ridiculous short film. But in my own universe, was like, okay, I can do this again. I then wrote a couple of monologues for myself that were definitely not easy. Very verbose, very poetic, not straightforward, just, here you go. Very character, very, you could say more old-timey theater feeling. And it was a really challenge. When I filmed the first one, my wife and I were in New York, and I was like, okay, because I wanted to be in a hotel room, and it lined up perfectly with the trip that we were taking to New York. We didn't start filming till 10:30 at night because I was like, I couldn't confront doing it. And I've made so many films, I've been doing this for so many years, but there was still that part of me that was like, I have to learn these lines, I have to be on camera, and because I've had a handful of experiences that when I was in front of camera while needing to direct, it didn't come out well because I didn't have the people around me to make it go right. I've had poor experiences because I couldn't trust people. But my wife pushed me through it, and it came out really well. And I was very, very proud of how it came out. And I was like, oh, okay. And then just yesterday, I shot my second one, where I went out to the desert, and I had my brother help me play a character in it where he's just, you could say, an extra. And my wife helped me shoot it, and it really just takes a team. I would have never got it done. I had been delaying it for about 2-3 weeks shooting this. It took longer to drive out there and back than it did to shoot. Altogether, it was 5 hours, but it was 2.5 hours of driving. I say all of this from the standpoint of it really takes a tribe. It takes a group to be successful. One of the stories I love is the story of Steven Spielberg coming up, because he was friends with all of these other amazing filmmakers. And if you watched his documentary, you would know, but if you didn't know his documentary, you wouldn't know these stories. But he was good friends with Martin Scorsese, Brian De Palma, and George Lucas, and they would help each other with their scripts, with directing and giving notes on the edits. And you hear the same thing with the actors and the musicians, and it takes that group. So go work on finding the group. And it might not be easy to find them. It might be easy to find them. You might have to go through, to be blunt, a handful of people till you find your tribe. I've gone through many, unfortunately, of friends to look for my tribe. And still figuring it out myself. I don't particularly have it figured out. The things I know how to find them is to make more art, because that will attract the right people. The way I look at it is, who are you going to want to be friends with? is that person, who's that type of person? So you should become that type of person too, because that's probably what they want as a friend and as a tribe member, is you're going to want contemporaries who balance you out and who are coming up with you. This is why networking up, you could say, a lot of the time is really hard and really doesn't work, because there's an out reality. It's like, you're not going to provide Lady Gaga, Drake, Steven Spielberg any value where you're at now as an upcoming artist. But you can provide, Joey, Sarah, whoever, XYZ unknown artist, a lot of value, because you're an unknown artist also. And the way you provide that value is by showing that you have value to provide. It really comes down to as simple as that. And the way you can show you have value to provide is by making art that blows them away. And if you can blow them away, then you can start blowing away other people. And you'll pull in the right group by putting out art. Those can be people in your area. They could be people online. You can build these great relationships with anyone, anywhere these days. The whole advantage to having this group is that you guys help give each other notes. You guys help push each other to be better. And you guys come up together. That is the entire goal. And it's people that you want to make sure you have the same kind of goals and ideas of what the group should be when you guys are coming up. From my personal experience, that group is so invaluable. I'm very fortunate to have the family I have, to have the brothers I have, the parents I have, the wife I have, who are unbelievably supportive and unbelievably pushing of me to get to the next level, because I do the same thing to them. And because that's what it takes. It is very hard, if not impossible, to actually do it on your own. And you just have to go find the group. So go create art and go create this amazing group of artists that you guys are going to come up and ride the coolest wave and be massive superstars all together.